Welcome, adventurers! Tonight, we will try to part the mists on the mysterious and horrific domains, dark lords, and creatures of Ravenloft. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So grab your favorite goth attire, send out one last message to your deity or patron, and let's begin. This land has many names: Domains of Gloom, Shadowfell, Lands of Mists, Ravenloft. This is not a planet in some gothic horror solar system. This land is a network of at least 39 island realms hidden amongst a magical mist, each crafted from fear and twisted by horror into magical prisons to torture those both innocent and evil. Dark powers manipulate both the mist and the domains for their own entertainment. This mist isolates, divides, and surrounds each domain. It is not contained into this existence. It has its own power to slip across planes and drag others into Shadowfell to add to this never-ending horror story. There are a few who can travel through the mist with some success. For example, the Fistani, who are from Barovia originally, have traveled through domains using divination magic and mist talismans, enough to know of hidden paths through the mist. They are known for their craft work, horse rearing, and trading. They are easily recognized by their ledge wagons. They do take pity on others lost in the mist and will let them travel with them to the next domain. Another example would be Shadowfell's own Sherlock Holmes and Watson, Alanique Ray, and Arthur Sedgwick, who travel wherever there is a mystery. Inspired by the Dark Lord's wickedness, the Dark Powers designed each domain to torture their individual Dark Lord by twisting their desires into a reality that defies logic. The Dark Lords cannot leave their domain. Few realize they're even in this nightmare, and oddly enough, have some control over what happens within their domain. Domains can vary in size, but each has their own culture, traditions, level of technology, and vague religion. All domains speak common. There is no unified calendar. Time is simply measured by moons. Citizens of the domain can be the normal range of aberration, beasts, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, fiend, giants, humanoids, monstrosities, ooze, plant, and undead. Some unusual humanoids here would be Damphir, hexbloods, and reborns. Think of Damphir as living vampires. They are still alive, but have increased speed, spider climb, dark vision, that wonderful life-draining bite, and the thirst for the living. This thirst can be for blood, flesh, spinal fluid, psychic energy, regular old-fashioned life energy, and even dreams. They often become monster hunters themselves or adventurers. Hexbloods are those who are saturated with eldritch magic, fey magic, or witchcraft. This can happen a couple of different ways. An individual can make a bargain with a hag and then be transformed, or they were affected earlier in life, or their parents made a bargain before they were born. You can recognize them by their forked and pointed ears, a living crown or garland around their head, and garish skin colors. Reborn are people who have died, but yet are still living, and often have physical evidence of their death. For example, missing limbs, empty veins, scars, mismatched body parts, etc. They often have no memory of their life before their death, but do have flashbacks of bits and pieces of their memories. They neither drink, eat, or sleep. In their downtime, they simply wait for memories to surface. The level of magic varies within each domain and is also influenced by the dark powers. The dark powers can also come bearing dark gifts or striking bargains with certain individuals in need. These gifts are also curses. For example, you can be given the ability to traverse through the mist successfully, but if you stay too long in the mist, either your life force will be drained, or you are given the touch of death to be master of your enemies, but you bring death to the loved ones you touch as well. Domains reside outside the natural order of the multiverse. Everyone is a prisoner in the domains. Spells that would normally help you escape or banish something to another plane do not work. Even wishes do not work. You cannot escape, even in death. All souls are caught by the mist and are held back from the afterlife. Reincarnation can take decades, hence why generations look alike and have memories from their past. Not everyone here has souls, but the dark powers form bodies from the mist and land itself. Their purpose is to continue the nightmare within the domain. Most individuals with souls accept life as it is, or are distracted by events placed in their lives by the dark powers, so they do not question why things are the way they are. Ignorance is bliss, so they say, or in this case, another way to survive when your day-to-day life is a literal nightmare. Besides the well-known vampire, Strahd, in Barovia, here are just a few examples of some of the 39 domains in Ravenloft. Mordant is graced with large country estates and traditional living of farmers and laborers, where tradition is king and everyone knows their place. Although this countryside appears to be peaceful, all is not well. Although their ancestors are dead, they are not gone, particularly Lord Wilfred Godfrey, the lord who killed his wife and daughter. This land is filled with vengeful spirits, family curses, and haunted mansions. There is O'Dare, which think like Pinocchio, but instead of a benevolent puppet becoming a real boy, the toy convinces his lonely toy maker father to make more toys for the village children. As the mist closes in on the village, the children are left to wonder, where did all the adults go? Blutspur is an alien, inhospitable landscape where mind flayers work tirelessly to find a way to save their leader, the god brain of Blutspur. Those who free themselves from this land have psychic scars and loss of memories. But what of those who do not return? This is a land of abductions and experimentation. Finally, there is Dementaloo, where keeping up with the Joneses meets Gilded Age, but with murder and lots of it. In this domain, everyone wears decorative masks daily. Everyone must keep up appearances of limitless wealth, particularly around the Duchess. Magical illusions hide needed repairs. Middle-class merchants go through the dump to find items to keep their shelves overflowing. Starve you and your household for a week so you can throw a passable ball. If your dress rips at the Duchess's ball, well, it's an immediate death, my friend. Even the poor cannot escape. The Red Death prowls the slums to drain them of their life force. This is a land of illusion, social decay, and the imposter phenomenon. Now for some interesting creatures of Ravenloft. Body taker plants. Think of the Little Shop of Horrors. Their main goal is to be the highest form of life wherever they take root. They either capture prey themselves or have their podling servants serve them up on a silver platter. Their prey is slowly dissolved and a copy is made, called a podling. Gallows speakers are the amalgamation of souls from areas where large-scale loss of life has occurred. They are the literal manifestation of all the final thoughts of the dead. They can cause a lot of psychic damage when they share these memories. So here's kind of a weird one, but also massively creepy. You have vampiric mind flayers. Their snack of choice is not blood, but cerebral fluids from an intelligent brain of others. This is the one time anyone would appreciate being an ignoramus. These mentally and physically unbalanced mind flayers are considered abominations by other, technically, I guess, normal mind flayers. Strigoi is an example of what not to do. Thanks to some spellcasters and mad scientists subjecting Sturges to spells of transmutation, we have the Strigoi. They drain everything but the skin from their victims. Kind of like how you would attack a Capri Sun after being on a hot playground. Their victims sometimes become boneless. And boneless are pretty much malice infused skin suits. So pretty much they just want to be held again by bones, any bones, and will squeeze through any 1-inch opening to do so. They will literally wrap themselves around a victim in a full body grip and squeeze them to death. They can take that nightmare fuel one step further by hanging out and onto, technically, other undead. Congrats! It's a buy one, get one free. Lastly, and rather hilariously, there is Brain in a Jar. Yep. This is a conglomeration of alchemy, necromancy, and surgery. Grab a jar, liquefy the original body, pour that and your favorite brand of preserving fluids into a jar, and finally, add a brain. Ta-da! You have yourself a new friend, or the latest weight loss trend in Ravenloft. This brain is now immortal, has psychic powers, and weighs only 125 pounds. They have been known to repeatedly hit the side of its jar when frustrated or excited. Me too, brain. Me too.